Hello everyone. Today we are going to start with our unit number 1, that is cell as a unit of life, which is from paper number 11 of semester 5th for BSc 3 Botany CBCS pattern. First of all, one should understand what is the meaning of plant cell. Now we well know the cell is said to be basic unit of life in all organisms. Like humans and animals, plants are also composed of several cells. The plant cell is surrounded by a cell wall which is involved in providing shape to the plant cell. Apart from the cell wall, there are other organelles that are associated with different cellular activities. So we can define a plant cell as plant cells are eukaryotic cells with a true nucleus along with specialized structures called organelles that carry out certain specific functions. Both plant and animal cells contain nucleus along with similar organelles. One of the distinctive aspect of a plant cell is the presence of a cell wall outside the cell membrane. Plants are of two types. The first one, that is unicellular plants. Many plants consist of single cell. For example, Chlamydomonas is there, which is a single celled, or Anastistis is there, Corococcus is there. These are some other examples of unicellular plants. In these plants, all the vital functions are carried out by the single cell. This type is known as acellular. And the another type of plants, that is multicellular plants. Most plants consist of many cells. All the functions of life are carried out by one or other group of cells. For example, Spirogyra is there, then Sphagnum is there, then Lycopodium is there. These are some different examples of multicellular plants. In multicellular living things, a collection of cells that work together to perform similar functions is called a tissue. Various tissues that perform coordinated functions form organs, and organs that work together to perform general processes form body system. A cell, that is why it is said that a cell is a basic structural and functional unit of plants. Now, as far as the history of cell is concerned, Marcello Malpighi in 1661 first of all found that plants are consist of separate structural units called as utricles. He named it as a utricles. Then Robert Hooke in 1665 observed a thin slice of cork under a very primitive microscope. Cork was composed of box-like compartments forming a honeycomb structure which he named it as a cells. That is the Latin word. Cells is a Latin word, that is cellula is a hollow space. Cellula means hollow space. So Robert Hooke first of all given the name that is cells. Then Anton van Leeuwenhoek in 1674 observed under improved microscope living cells, that is bacteria, protozoa, spermatozoa, etc. Then Grew in 1682, he found that cells in the forms of cavities with cellulose walls were discovered in different plants. Then the Trochet in 1824 expressed the idea of individuality of cells, that is these were separate and separable units. This was discovered by Dutrochet. So this is about the discovery of cells. Then as far as cell theory is concerned, the cell theory or cell doctrine was proposed by Sheldon and Schwann in 1839. Described that all organisms are composed of similar units of organizations called as cells. In 1838, Matthias Sheldon found that all plant cells have basically similar structure. T. Schwann in 1839 again observed that animal cells differ from plant cells in lacking cell wall but are otherwise similar amongst themselves. So this is the theory that has been put forth by different scientists. Sheldon in 1838 summarized his observations into three conclusions about cells. The first conclusion given by Sheldon is the cell is a unit of structure, physiology and organization in living things. Then second observation or conclusion by Sheldon is the cell retains a dual existence as a distinct entity and a building block in the construction of organisms. That is, construction of any organism has been there because of the cells. Then third observation or conclusion by Sheldon is cells formed by free cell formation similar to the formation of crystals. So these are different observations given by Sheldon. Later on, Rudolf Virchow in 1858 states that omnis cellula e cellula, that is, the new cells arise from pre-existing cells only. The main features of cell theory as known nowadays are. So whatever the conclusion given by Virchow in 1858, nowadays we believe and we found that the new cell that arises from pre-existing cells only. All living organisms are composed of cells. What has been the conclusion given by Virchow? Therefore, cell is structural unit of living organisms. All cells arise from the pre-existing cells of similar type. Thus, cell is a unit of heredity. All cells are basically alike in chemical composition and metabolism activities. They are alike in their chemical composition. The function of an organism as a whole is the result of the activities and interactions of its cells. So these are different conclusions given by Rudolf Virchow in 1858. So these are different cell theories put forth by different scientists or volunteers. They are working on cell. But there are some exceptions to this particular cell theory given by Virchow, that is in viruses. In viruses, it has been found that protoplasm and nucleus is absent. DNA and RNA is the genetic material. Then bacteria and blue-green algae, they shows nuclear membrane is absent. Thus, the nuclear content is in direct contact with the cytoplasm. That is, no true cells. He said that there are some exceptions. That is, one exception is that no true cells in bacteria and blue-green algae, as well as in viruses also. Some mold fungi, bodies made up of undivided masses of protoplasm in which several nuclei are scattered. So these are some exceptions to the cell theories given by different volunteers or different scientists who works upon this particular cell. So as far as cell size is concerned, cell size varies widely in various plants. The size varies from micron to millimeter. The smallest cells are found in bacteria. The cell of Mycoplasma ledlowi with a diameter of about 0.1 to 0.15 micron. We know well 1 micron is equal to 1000 part of millimeter. In plants, the longest cells are fibers producing, for example, in case of jute or cotton or rami, which are about 55 centimeters long. So this is the longest cell that has been found. A single-celled alga, Acetabularia, measures about 10 centimeter in height. So this is how this different cell size varies in different plants. And as far as cell shape is concerned, the shape of the cells varies with their positions in plants. It can be polygonal, spherical, elliptical, spindle-shaped, cuboidal, plate-like or irregular. There are variations in cell shape. In multicellular plants, cell shape also depends on their location and nature of function. Where they are actually located and what the functions they are doing, the shape of the cell will vary. As far as cell types are concerned, basically there are two types of living cells were recognized in plants. The first one, that is prokaryotic. The simple meaning of prokaryotic means pro means primitive and karyon means nucleus. That is, primitive type of nucleus is present in the plants, and that we call it as a prokaryotic cell. This is the diagrammatic representation structure of bacterial cell, prokaryotic cell, that is bacterial cell, where you can find that the nuclear material is not bounded by nuclear membrane. The nuclear material remains diffused with cytoplasm. Here nucleoid is present, not a particular position of nucleus is present over there. Organized nucleus is absent in the protoplasm, that is, the nucleus is without a nuclear membrane. Nucleus is without nuclear membrane, which is a characteristic feature of prokaryotic cells. Then nuclear reticulum is absent, nucleoplasm and nucleolus, they all are absent in case of prokaryotic type of, that is primitive type of nucleus. Only Monera, that is which is a blue-green algae, cyanobacteria, and bacteria are prokaryotic cell known as prokaryotes. The genetic material contains in prokaryotic type of cells is DNA, that is histone is absent in them. So this is what we call it as a prokaryotic type of cells, and another type is eukaryotic type of cells, that is U means true, karyon means nucleus. The cells which shows true nucleus, they are known as eukaryotic type of cells. This type of cells, they have a true nucleus with a definite nuclear membrane by which nuclear material is bounded. The genetic material contains DNA complex with histone proteins to form well-organized chromosomes. Nucleoli is present in them. The majority of plants are composed of eukaryotic cells. Distinct organelles, the small structures that each performs a specific set of functions, are present within eukaryotes. So majority of eukaryotic type of cells, they are present in higher plants, we can say, like angiosperms are there, which shows eukaryotic type of cells. As far as comparison of prokaryotic and eukaryotic type of cells are concerned, prokaryotic type of cells, they shows 1 to 10 millimeter of cell size, as well as they are unicellular. In eukaryotic type of cells like plants or protists, fungi, they shows 5 to 100 millimeter of cell size and they are multicellular. Organelles, as far as they are concerned, prokaryotic cells, they shows very few organelles, cell organelles, or in sometimes they are absent. In case of eukaryotic type of cells, nucleus, mitochondria, chloroplast, endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi apparatus, etc., they all are present in eukaryotic type of cells. As far as DNA is concerned, in prokaryotic type of cells, DNA is a circular one, DNA organized in nucleotide, and in case of eukaryotic type of cells, linear DNA molecules organized in chromosomes bounded in nucleus. As far as synthesis of RNA and proteins is concerned, in case of prokaryotic cells, RNA and protein synthesis occur in same place, whereas in eukaryotic type of cell, RNA synthesis occurs in nucleus and protein synthesis outside the nucleus, that is in the cytoplasm. So this is how the difference between prokaryotic and eukaryotic type of cells. Then as far as chromosomes are concerned, prokaryotic cells, they show single chromosome. In case of eukaryotic cells, the chromosome is a multiple. The ribosomes, as far as they are present in prokaryotic type of cells, they are of 70S, that is 50S plus 20S. These two subunits are present in prokaryotic type of cells, the ribosomes, and in case of eukaryotic type of cells, 80S, that is of 60S plus 40S. These two subunits of ribosomes, they are present. And as far as metabolic activities are concerned, photosynthetic and respiratory enzymes are found on plasma membrane in case of prokaryotic type of cells, that is in cyanobacteria or bacteria, and in case of eukaryotic type of cells, photosynthetic and respiratory enzymes are found on chloroplast and mitochondria respectively. And as far as prokaryotic type of cells are concerned, cell divisions, that is amitosis, spindle apparatus, they are absent during cell division. Replicated DNA pulled by attachment to plasma membrane. And in case of eukaryotic type of cells, mitosis is there, meiosis is there, spindle apparatus present, and chromosomes pulled by it. So in this way, this differentiation between prokaryotic and eukaryotic type of cells we can found. And as far as metabolic activities are concerned, in case of prokaryotic type of cells, anaerobic, that is respiration in the absence of oxygen, or aerobic is present in prokaryotes, and in case of eukaryotes, only aerobic, that is in presence of oxygen, these particular metabolic activities, they have been formed, they have been put forth. So this is the differentiation between prokaryotic and eukaryotic type of cells, and the different cell theories what we have discussed in this particular lecture. This particular lecture concerned with our subunit number 1.1, that is cell introduction and cell theory. Thank you very much.